I'd like to first thank Nadia for this extraordinarily generous, beautiful location and repast. Beautiful food, the likes of which I haven't seen at an event ever. This is just And Dave Marston, I know you're tall, but I'm not seeing you. There you are. Thank you so much for joining us and being the great supporter that you are. Dave and I share an office in Fairfax Station, which is a Democratic stronghold. That top floor above the post office. Let no Republicans enter. And Senator Kane, we're not done with you. So I want to thank you most of all for taking the time out of a very busy schedule on the Hill. And I want to share with you some of the things I am thankful for about you. The first is that you gave your staffer a Louis Vuitton bag.
This is a very old story.
In 2001, when Senator Kane was not Senator Kane, he was just like all of us, and he was helping my friend Kathy Belter run for the state Senate against Ken Cuccinelli. And his assistant came to help Kathy with fundraising. Not an easy task, but she was a crackerjack at it, and we loved her. I was a volunteer on Kathy's race, and obviously the senator appreciated her talents too and was wildly generous with that bag. And for any of you husbands who may not know, there is a shop in Parsons.
Lowell can tape it and knows the story.
Christmas is around the corner. So I'm thankful for such great taste. I'm also really grateful to you for your work on behalf of women in Virginia. When you had to defeat that partial birth abortion. I didn't think I'd ever say that again. Partial birth abortion nonsense that was going on in the House and Senate. And you saved us, and all the women in Virginia who are pro-choice women consider you a hero. Now, I also have a particular affinity for education, and maybe some of you know that, and one of the things that I'm most anxious to see happen is pre-K.
Yeah.
And Senator Kane, when he was in Virginia, in the governor's mansion, did the first time ever backing of pre-K for all at-risk students. It was foundational for our Commonwealth, and it was because of his leadership that we're ever going to get anywhere with that agenda, hopefully soon rather than late. Your response to the Virginia Tech shootings, your immediate return from abroad, halfway around the world. Our youngest son was at Virginia Tech as a senior in that. Yeah, and it made all the difference to have you there, and the words you comforted the families and the student body, and we're very grateful for that hard task.
Probably affected Fairfax more than any other part of Virginia, just in terms of who the young people were.
Yeah, we had a lot of students there. And as a senator, we can't thank you enough for your push for the Affordable Care Act. Because of your leadership and that push that we got us, that President Obama got it done. And I don't know how many people keep thanking you, but we should forever. Thank you for that. And your stand.
I have to be honest, I was DNC chair, not in the Senate when the ACA
Yeah, I wondered about that.
But I have never given more speeches about any topic in my life than about the Affordable Care Act during those months. So I always say I was DNC chair when the Democrats passed something that will always be a signature for us. So that makes
LGBT civil rights, that's you. Labor rights. And I could go on and on, obviously I can. And the senator he didn't mention is on some lightweight committees in the Senate. Armed Services, Foreign Relations, the budget. Doesn't take much of his time. And he's doing extraordinary things for us. And I want you to know, before I actually talk about this race, that we're all on VP watch. I am honored to be here today in front of so many of you who are my neighbors, my supporters, people who don't know anything about me, have taken a chance to come to beautiful McLean out of Braddock District to see what Janet is all about. Well, I'm here bringing you good news. This is a race we can win. 4 years ago, 52% of Braddock District voters came to the polls to vote against John Cook. But, you know the outcome. The Green Party candidate won 5%, leaving the results 48% for John Cook, 47% for Janet. Well, since then, and this is the good news part, over 25% of our district has changed. And many of our new residents are young families whose main concern is schools. That's right. I'm knocking on doors every single day and I'm hearing the same thing over and over and over again. We need to fully fund our schools and we need to help our teachers stay in Fairfax County. That is in large part why I'm running, and helping me do that is my wonderful husband, Walter, who's hiding in the back. Knocked on my behalf on more than 50,000 doors from the state senate through the next race, which was supervisor, through this race, and he's still standing. I am also so proud of him as, well, a great dad and a fun husband, but also proud of him because he is quite an accomplished author, professor, and works on the Hill in congressional, at the CRS, Congressional Research Service. So anything you want to know about anything in politics in the U.S., Walter is always a teacher and always happy to help, and has helped me and supported me through all of these races. I think I see also another elected who might be, is Ryan McElveen back here somewhere? I think he snuck in the back. So we've knocked on a lot of doors. And if all of the voters who voted for me in 2011 vote for me again, this time I win. Let me also take a moment to explain why incumbent John Cook is such a flawed public official and needs to be defeated at the polls. Above all else, I think you and I agree, public service means making decisions in the best interest of the voters, not of oneself. This is so basic, I don't think I shouldn't even really have to mention it. However, time and again, he has benefited personally, and all the other partners of his law firm too, by taking cases in which he has a clear conflict of interest. John's law firm represents 2 county agencies in lawsuits. He is the managing partner of the firm and gets a partner's cut of the work. This is unacceptable for a public servant, and I will introduce ethics legislation at once to ban this practice. And I am proud to say that Braddock District's 3 senators, Senator Dave Marston, who is here tonight, Chap Peterson, and Dick Saslaw, all issued a joint press release saying they would support a bill in Richmond to allow Fairfax a stronger ethics policy.
That's good.
John is passionate about underfunding education. He even put out a poll asking if voters would like their supervisor to work with the school board or act as a check on it. I don't need a poll to know whether we should be working with the school board. And the first thing I would do when elected is clear a space for our Braddock District School Board member, Megan McLaughlin, to have her office there. And unfortunately, Megan can't be here tonight. She wanted to. Her husband is having surgery, or had surgery today. This office is important. Fairfax County is headed in the right direction. Thank you. Oops. Pardon me for this. What I have to say, I really had to take a gulp first. Democrats on the board are not united. Some Dems even voted against the budget with only a 2-seat margin. We need a progressive Democrat on the board from Braddock to give the board latitude in case any other Democrats bail out. Braddock is the only race where we can make progress this year. We have some great candidates, such as John Faust, who's running for re-election, but that's where we can keep the progress already made in prior elections. But we've got to re-elect him. And Dan Stork, who is my colleague on the school board and who's running in Mount Vernon, will be a great supervisor. I can guarantee. So the fight there is not that it will go backwards. Jerry Highland was a great supervisor as well. And the same is true in Sully District. We need Kathy to be elected.
Yes.
Michael Fry has been a good Republican on the board, so we're protecting progress there. It's only in Braddock that we can make progress this year. And thank you for your help. Thank you in advance for your willingness to help in the coming months, when I will call on you again to ask you to pitch in. I will need your generosity until we win on November 3rd. And thereafter, as we can work together to continue the progress that we need to remain the premier destination in Virginia. And together, we will win.